Good evening. Today's vlog is just going to be like a compilation of this kind of next week of living in our hotel. So we finally got our COVID test today, and wow, that was a crazy experience compared to what we had to do in Colorado. So basically in Colorado, as you guys saw, we just drove up, we stayed in our car, and like all in all it was probably about a 20-minute, half-hour process, and it was super easy. Like the drive-through was maybe 5 minutes from our house, and it was just like it ran super well. And when we went to get it today, we went probably around 9 a.m. or so. And when we got there, we waited in line for probably about half hour, 45 minutes, and just a bunch of people like outside an urgent care facility, because like all of the testing in Massachusetts, it seems like it's only done at like urgent care facilities. I think some like CVS and Walgreens were doing it, and maybe some other places, but they didn't have like designated testing like drive-throughs like what I had seen in Colorado. That lighting is so warm. I don't think it's gonna get any better. No, we're all warm here. Anyway, yeah, get used to this very nice warm light for the next few videos. Anyway, so we waited in line for about an hour, and then they're like, we are all done, like we're at capacity for our testing for now, so come back around 2 p.m. and we'll see if we can get you in. And so we were like, okay. So I'm back to the hotel room, just kind of hang out, and it's not like we can really do anything. We drove by one house that we really liked, but it's a little bit like far. It's not as like central as we want it to be, so we're kind of still on the edge about that. Anyway, we went back around 1:30 because we were like, oh, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be lining up around 2 to get their testing done. And when we get there, the line is just as long as when we got there earlier. We stayed in line for probably about half hour, 45 minutes, and it didn't move at all. And eventually we got inside, and they took our information. So they basically were like, were you either exposed or are you symptomatic? And since Mike and I don't have any symptoms, it's just that like we were exposed. We're like, yeah, we were exposed. So the wait time on that was an hour and a half. And so they were like, we'll call you in an hour and a half when it's your turn. So we kind of went and grabbed some lunch, and then really just sat in the parking lot because we didn't want to miss our slot and then like have to start all over again. So we waited in the car for probably about 2 hours, which is fine. Like the waiting was whatever. It's not like we have anything else to do. And we go in when they call us, and as we go inside, like there's another lady who was waiting to get tested because she was symptomatic. And she was really upset because the symptomatic wait time was like 3 hours, whereas like ours was like only an hour and a half, because like I think the people who are symptomatic, they need like a full screening, they need like a private room, and so like you could tell that like everyone in that situation was super stressed out. Like the people working at the front desk and the healthcare workers are obviously just like at wit's end. And that poor lady was just like waiting for like 4 hours to get a test. So yeah, that was just like definitely eye-opening, like a much different experience than what we had seen in Colorado. So Mike and I, we went in to get tested together, and it was kind of funny. It was just like in like a lab room, like where they would normally like draw blood or just take your pulse. I just think they were like testing people wherever they could. And the actual test itself was pretty different than the one we got in Colorado. Like as you saw, the one in Colorado was like 10 seconds per nostril. The one here was like 5, but it was like, I feel like the Q-tip or whatever they use was much fatter, and so it was like a much more intense feeling, and it just like felt like burning like way up there. And the current wait time is 4 to 6 days, and like worst case scenario, a week. because they're dealing with so many post-Thanksgiving tests, which just sucks because Mike and I were like, yes, we're those assholes too that saw family on Thanksgiving and now need a test. So because the wait times are so long, we figure we'll probably be here for a little bit longer than we thought. Fingers crossed that like they're able to catch up and we can get our baby test back by the weekend and get out of here by the weekend, but we'll see. So anyway, I have set up my monitors for work tomorrow, and we cleaned up the area just a little bit more organized, since again, we will probably be here a little bit longer. So it's not as messy as when we first got here. I feel like we got here and just like our stuff just exploded everywhere. So it's a little bit cleaner. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out for the next few days. Mike went and grabbed some dinner, so he'll be back soon. And yeah, welcome to the new abode for the next week or so. Also, let's take a minute to appreciate the frizziness that is my hair in this humidity. It was so crazy yesterday, and this is frizzy for me. There was like, I swear, a monsoon. We had just these crazy wind gusts and rainstorm in my hair, which was down all day. It like had these really nice ringlet curls, and I was like really feeling my hair. But then I woke up this morning and it was an absolute like bird's nest, so up it goes. We are finally out of here. We are COVID free. We got our test results back today, which was definitely a surprise. I thought it was gonna take like much longer. I think it was only like 4 days, maybe even just under. So it's super exciting, and we are finally allowed back in my dad's house, or just there initially because we haven't been there yet. So we are packing up the hotel room after a very close and uneventful week in this in this very little hotel room. I feel like it just got smaller and smaller each day, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah, we're packing up and we'll head over there soon. I think it'll probably be like 2-car trips or 2 cars, but I think my dad is gonna stop by on his way home from work and put some stuff in his car. But yeah, Nomar and Dodo's got a bath today, so they are on their best presentation, meeting their new cousin Dakota, which we're very excited about. So yeah, very exciting. Come on, Ninus. Who's a good boy, Ninus? Who's a good boy?
Yoda, you're doing great, bud.
You're so good. Look at you, how fluffy you are. So clean, so fluffy. So clean, so fluffy.
I took a shower today too.
On the road after a little stint in purgatory last Tuesday, or Westboro. It's actually very nice. I think like it was like really convenient. Like we could grab all sorts of dinners. We like the town a lot, but out of this 200 square foot hotel room, off to meet new cousin or aunt. I think Dakota's technically their aunt.
Her and Yoda are like a year apart.
Well, I'm just saying like she is dad's fur baby. So my fur sibling, their fur aunt.
Dog families.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all makes sense.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome to the final destination of our very prolonged road trip. We got into my dad's house last night. It was literally a 20-minute drive, if that, from our hotel. But like it just felt like the end of the journey. And so we ended up just getting pizza and salad and kind of just hanging out for the rest of the night. My dad was super fried from his work week, and we were kind of just like taking a deep breath and finally just like settling in. So yeah, we're gonna end up looking at some houses tomorrow. Today we're supposed to get a ton of snow, so I don't think we'll do much. But if the snow doesn't come in till later, we might do some Christmas shopping. Since we now have room to like put all of our stuff we can finally do some Christmas shopping. It was kind of funny, like when we got in last, my dad had like put all of the boxes that I had shipped like here, like all of like packages and stuff I had ordered, in like the room Mike and I were staying, and it was like this pile of shame of just like all like the purchases I've made over the last like couple weeks in there. And then I go to my brother's room and his pile is even bigger. So like I felt like a little bit better about the size of my pile, but it was still just like, whoops. So yeah, we'll be here for the next, I don't know, probably like month or two. Really depends how quickly we can find a house. We'd love to find one sooner rather than later. And since we don't have like any, we wouldn't have to put in a contingent offer. We could just do an offer since we've already sold our house. We can probably move quicker and hopefully have a stronger offer than if we had a contingency with us. So yeah, we'll do some house hunting tomorrow. Maybe we'll take you along on that, depending on how many houses we go to, and hopefully find the perfect house.